Good morning to all and welcome to the session. Today's editorial is all about recently conducted elections in Thailand. It is all about pro democratic parties coming to power and pro government parties they could not do well. Any editorial related to elections, this is related to polity, related to elections, will definitely touch how the new government or the government that is going to be formed, what sort of challenges the new government likely to face, what are the hurdles, and looking at this particular context, what role military is going to play and what role it has to play. It is all about elections and related to polity. If you guys remember, I think we have recently got another editorial, elections in Karnataka, related to elections, related to polity. That day you got some words and a few standard phrases. Today you're going to get some new words and a few standard new phrases. So what you have to do whenever you come across a similar topic, elections, polity, try to gather or try to maintain a file or write somewhere all the words related to elections, all the words related to polity. That will help in the long run. Because in the exam, if at all you get a passage related to elections, same words you will come across, same phrases you will come across, and it will be easy for you to read, comprehend, answer the questions. You can answer almost all the, you will be able to answer almost all the questions. Please do that. Coming to practice questions based on exam topics, today you're going to work on spot the errors, in my opinion, challenging, and you're going to work on phrasal verbs, idioms, words, and meanings. The words you got last week on Saturday. Let us go to editorial vocabulary. With the very first word, seed, an important word we have got for the first time. To give control or possession of something, especially land, to someone else, but in this context, power to someone else, often unwillingly or because forced to do so. This refers to the military in Thailand. Cede, to give control or possession of something. In this context, to give control or possession of power, authority, not land, especially power to someone else, not willingly, often unwillingly, or because forced to do so. Because of elections, forced to do so. Yes, cede, surrender, yield, very good. I appreciate that. And chaos, we have got many a time. I'm sure you guys can answer in the exam. The moment you see the word chaos, part of speech noun, a state of total confusion with no order. But try to write related words, turmoil, political chaos, political turmoil. That will help in the long run. Stark contrast, a typical combination. Stark has many meanings. One meaning, not covered, bare, empty, simple, obvious. In this context, it means obvious. Stark contrast means obvious contrast. Overwhelmingly, when you guys respond a lot, I will say overwhelming response, part of speech adverb. Strongly or completely, in an overwhelming way. You strongly, completely, in a positive manner. Overwhelming response means something very positive. Wary, we have got for the first time an important word, part of speech adjective, not completely trusting or certain about something or someone. Wary about something means you're not damn sure about that person, rather, somewhere you doubt. So, not completely trusting. That is also an important word we have got for the first time. Stand up, a different meaning, stand up comedy. But here you have to consider the phrasal verb too. Stand up to. It could be a phrasal verb, it could be an idiomatic expression to defend yourself against a powerful person or organization when they treat you unfairly. In this context, it is about the Democratic Party standing up to the army in Thailand. Coup. Here you got to be a little careful with the pronunciation. The letter P is silent, coup. Part of speech noun, we have got this once or twice. A sudden, illegal, often violent taking of government power, especially by part of an army. Army, it goes with army, toppling the government. Then we use the word coup. Stake a claim. Stake has many meanings. As a noun, high stakes, low stakes, stakes are very high. But here, stake, one meaning, the interest of a person who has invested in a particular business. But here, stake a claim, idiomatic expression. It means assert one's right to something. You stake a claim for something, means you say you have got something to take or you have the right to have something. Defame, verb, defamation, noun. The action of damaging the reputation of a person or group by saying or writing bad things about them that are not true. This goes with the media, obviously. Not a difficult word. Establishment. This is an important word because generally, establish as a verb, everyone knows, establish something. But here it has been used as a noun. Establishment as a noun means one of the meanings, the important and powerful people who control a country or an organization. In the context of the editorial, army, the important and powerful people who control a country or an organization. Establishment. Another meaning, in a way, it is the government and very authoritative, very strict. Sometimes it is used with individuals, do remember. Conscription, we have got for the first time. Part of speech noun, what does it mean, conscription? The act or process of forcing people by law to join the armed services. This is an important word. The act or process of forcing people by law to join the armed services. That is known as conscription. We have got for the first time a new word you got to spend some time. Scrap, I'm sure you all know. Scrap, everyday English. Remove the scrap from there. Scrap market. You use certain things, after that, you get rid of those things. And all those things together, we use the word scrap. But here, scrap has been used as a verb. It has a different meaning altogether. To not continue with a system or plan. Stop a particular thing, scrap, cancel, remove. Vowed, part of speech verb, to make a determined decision or promise to do something. You take a firm decision or you take a decision or promise to do something. Fledgling party. Fledgling actually means a small young bird. But here, fledgling party, fledgling company, fledgling organization, part of speech adjective, obviously, new and without experience. When you talk about a person, young person without experience, there is one word you have to recollect. We use the word novice. Novice means a beginner, a person without experience. There is one idiomatic expression we also say greenhorn. Greenhorn means a person without experience. Ratify, an important word, it goes with polity, it goes with legal aspects. Verb, especially of governments, as I said, or organizations, to make an agreement official or legal, ratify something. Predecessor, an important word we have got many a time, someone who had a job or a position before someone else. Today, someone, yesterday, someone else. The one who was in power yesterday, we use the term predecessor. Disaster, from that you get the word disastrous, adjective, extremely bad or unsuccessful. Defy, an important word, part of speech verb, to refuse to obey a person, decision, law, situation, etc. Defy also, you can think of the word challenge. On the brink, brink means edge. On the brink, idiomatic expression. Usually something important, terrible, or exciting you are just about to do or experience it. More than do, here I would rather prefer experience it. You're going to experience something unpleasant on the brink of collapse, on the brink of a bad situation, not a positive thing. These are the words from today's editorial. Let us see how it starts. A vote for change, easy to understand, on the result of the Thai parliamentary election. As I said, it is all about elections in Thailand. It is related to polity. What is the main idea of the editorial? The general should cede power without triggering chaos. The present government is backed by the army. Keeping that in mind, the main idea of the editorial, the generals, the army personnel, should cede power. Cede means what? To give control or possession of something, in this context, power, to someone else, not willingly, unwillingly. Cede power without triggering. Trigger means to cause something to happen, usually something negative, not positive. Trigger, fear, trigger something negative. Chaos. So, what is the negative aspect over here? Without starting, without triggering, chaos. Chaotic adjective, chaos noun means what? A state of total confusion with no order. You can also think of the word anarchy, an important word. Chaos, anarchy, turmoil. And how does it start? For Thai voters, the May 14th, when did these elections happen? On May 14th, last month. For Thai voters, the May 14th parliamentary election offered. The elections offered something to Thai voters. What did the elections offer? Or what did the parliamentary election offer? A stark choice between, stark means a clear, obvious, between the royalist military backed government and the pro democratic reformist opposition. There are two parties claiming power. One, a royalist. Royal means related to kings and queens, I'm sure you guys know. Military backed government and the pro democratic reformist opposition. And what did they choose? They overwhelmingly, completely, and in an impressive manner, they overwhelmingly supported the latter. Today, lack of time, I could not bring grammar related in green, but this is an important word. They have given many a time in competitive exams. There are two words, later, latter. If you take the comparative form, here later, this refers to time. I will do it later. Latter, double T, it refers to position. Of the two writers, I like the latter, not the former, the latter. Very important, you got to remember, they have given many a time. Between the two, they overwhelmingly supported the latter. What is former here? Again, you have to know two words, they go hand in hand. One former, the other latter. Former has many meanings. In usually you all know former president, former vice president, but here former means first in position, latter second in position. I have just given one example. Of the two writers, I like the latter, not the former. So here former royalist military backed government, latter pro democratic reformist opposition. Which one did they support? The latter. In this context, what does it mean? Pro democratic reformist opposition. When the preliminary results were announced, the Progressive Move Forward Party emerged as the single largest bloc with 152 seats. Obviously, it has to talk about the parties that are likely to form the government. That is one party. There is another party, the Pew Thai Party, another pro democratic outfit, that means the party, led by Shinawatra, daughter of former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, came second with 141 seats. One party, pro democratic, Move Forward Party, 152, and the other one, 141. But they may not be able to form the government. Why? When you read the editorial, you understand. All the pro government parties did poorly. The former pro royalist pro government parties did poorly. They did not do well. Now the major parties, 152, 141, both the Move Forward and the Pew Thai have promised to stand up to military, face the military, against the military, which captured power in 2014 through a coup. Right now, the present government is military government, pro-royalist military government, and it captured power. How did it capture power in 2014? Through a coup. Coup, the letter P is silent, a sudden, illegal, often violent taking of government power, especially by part of an army, and address the countries. One thing, they're going to stand up to the military. The other factor, and address the country's economic issues. They're going to deal with country's economic issues. The move forward, a political upstart led by 42-year-old Peter, is now leading coalition talks. The move forward, the party which got 152 seats, a political upstart led by 42-year-old Peter, is now leading coalition talks. He's talking to other parties. Coalition, some words haven't brought the meanings. We have got many a time. Pro government means supporting the government. Pro means in support of. Pro government, anti government. There are two terms you have to know. Pro government means supporting the government, anti government, against the government. Coalition, after election, usually this word comes into the limelight. No single party gets a majority. A few parties join hands and they try to form the government. We call that coalition government. And they form a sort of alliance. Very good. Coalition talks and has staked a claim. Stake a claim means assert one's right to do something. Here, assert right to power to form the next government. During the campaign, Mr. Peter was critical of the establishment. Not easy to understand. If you read this sentence, I am sure you cannot understand. The reason being, the word establishment, usually establish, we have a different meaning altogether. Establish means to start, establish a company, establish an organization. But here it has been used as a noun. As a noun, it has a different meaning altogether. During the campaign, Mr. Peter was critical of the establishment. Establishment here, the important and powerful people who control a country or an organization. In this context, establishment, the military. Critical of the establishment, not wary of the establishment, and offered a new beginning to Thai voters. He offered a new beginning. The party's manifesto. This also I haven't brought because we have got many a time. You all know the meaning. At the time of elections, all the political parties they come up with a manifesto. In that manifesto is nothing but they tell the public what they're going to do if at all they come to power. The party's manifesto promised to stop military conscription. This is an important word you have to remember, you have to spend some time. Conscription means what? The act or process of forcing people by law to join the armed services. In some countries, it is compulsory to join army. By law, they have made it, they may make it mandatory. That is known as conscription. We have got for the first time. The party's manifesto promised a few things. What are those things? One, stop military conscription. Two, end the cycle of coups. Three, tackle business monopolies. And four, scrap the military drafted constitution. First one I've just explained. Second one, end the cycle of coups. Perhaps that country has experienced a lot of coups. So they're going to end that cycle of coups. Second thing they're going to deal with. And the third one, tackle. Tackle means deal. Business monopolies. Once economies, if you look into the past, in the past many economies monopolistic, many businesses monopolistic. Monopoly means what? Mono means one. Monopoly, if you take the business world, one particular product dominated by one particular company, the lion's share of a particular, if you take the product, the profits, the lion's share or the business, the lion's share is taken by a particular company, and then we no competitors as such. Then we say the company has monopolized that particular segment. So now in the modern, if you look at modern economies, monopolies are very rare. Modern markets are dynamic. Everyone has a role to play. Everyone can come up overnight if the person is diligent and if the person has the business acumen. Monopolies in the modern times are not very rare, but it is still there, looks like that. Tackle business monopolies and scrap the military drafted constitution. They have a constitution drafted by the military. They're going to scrap that, not to continue with the system. It also vowed to amend the controversial some law. This is looks like a foreign word, which shields the monarchy from public criticism. But you can understand the meaning. It also vowed means to make a determined decision or promise to do something. To do what? To amend. Amend means change. The controversial law. What is this law which shields? Here, shield means protect, which shields a monarchy. Monarchy, a particular place or kingdom ruled by a king or queen, we use the term monarchy. From public criticism. Right now, the public cannot criticize the monarchy. They have been shielded. They're going to amend that. The move forwards promises help the fledgling party. All these promises given in the manifesto help the fledgling party, an important word. The word fledgling goes with, it means actually a young bird. But here, a new one, fledgling party, easily connect with the public, which was increasingly angered by Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha's authoritarianism and the drying up of economic opportunities. The public are not happy with the prime minister, not happy with the drying up of economic opportunities. So they got connected to the manifesto of that particular party. But now it talks about the challenges. But an electoral victory does not necessarily mean that the move forward has an easy way towards forming a government. It is not going to be easy for the move forward party to form the government. Why? The opposition coalition has a majority, 309 in the 500 member elected House, but in Thailand's 750 member bicameral parliament, 250 members of the Senate are appointed by the military. Through elections, 500 member elected House. Besides, 250 members of the Senate are appointed by the military. Total comes to 750. Mr. Peter would need the support of 376 legislators to form the government. But how many does he have? 309. He's short of 376. So, not easy to form the government. His criticism of the military and the promise to amend the royal defamation law have made the generals wary of his rise. Rise means coming up. There are two things. So he may not get the support of the 250 members of the Senate. The reason for that, his criticism of the military, one thing, and of the 250 members appointed by the military. Why will they support this person? And the promise to amend the royal defamation law. These two things have made the generals wary of his rise. Wary means not to trust someone. You doubt someone, then we use the term wary. If the Senate votes as a bloc against the opposition coalition, he would not be able to form the government. Obviously, here imagine the 250 as a bloc, they don't support him. He will be having only 309, but he should have 376 to form the government. Based on that, he won't be able to form the government. If the Senate votes as a bloc together against the opposition coalition, he would not be able to form the government. It remains to be seen means an important expression. We have to wait and watch. It remains to be seen what will happen between now and July 13th. It looks like some time is there when the Election Commission will officially ratify the results. Ratify, especially of governments or organizations, to make an agreement official. In the 2019 election, the Future Forward Party, the predecessor of the Move Forward, emerged the third largest party, surprising the generals. This talks about what happened in 2019. It was subsequently later dissolved and its leaders banned from politics. They could not form the government and the leaders banned from politics. Mr. Peter is already facing cases for allegedly violating electoral laws. It talks about the present leader, what could be his fate. But any move to stop the winners of the election from forming the government would be disastrous for a country that is on the brink. If at all the military, pro government military, tries to block the elected parties to form the government, the result is going to be disastrous, extremely bad. What is the reason? The country is on the brink. On the brink. Brink means edge. On the brink of something, on the brink of collapse, on the brink of disaster, means about to experience something negative. But any move to stop the winners of the election from forming the government. If at all they try to stop, that would be disastrous for a country that is on the brink. Thailand witnessed widespread pro democracy protests in 2020, and these elections also reflecting the same thing. Pro democratic parties have won a lot of seats, which were crushed by the regime. In the 2020, when pro-democracy protests, there were those protests, they were crushed by the regime. Regime we have got many a time, so I haven't brought the meaning. Regime means the current government, usually authoritative. Some 14 million people voted for Move Forward, and if the military defies a mandate, Move Forward Party, how many people voted for Move Forward Party? 14 million. And if the military defy means challenge, their mandate goes with elections. It would only widen the cracks in society, may result in something negative. Instead, it's not happen. Instead, the general should see the elections as an opportunity to cede power and allow the winners to form the next government. The main idea is being reiterated. Instead, the general should see the elections as an opportunity to cede power, transfer power unwillingly, that's a different thing, and allow the winners to form the next government. That is good for everyone. That's all about today's. Don't ask about what is this verb plus object. I will look at it after some time. Now, questions based on the comprehension skill from today's editorial. The first one, what is this editorial about? Whom did Thai voters support? Whom did they support? The political parties you have to mention. Who has staked a claim to form the next government? Easy to answer. What helped the fledgling party easily connect with the public? What has made the generals wary of Mr. Peter's rise? Keywords easy to answer. Let us go to practice questions based on exam topics. The first five questions, error location, not easy. I would like to caution you guys, read the first one. In the meantime, Ajay has a question. If subject plus present form, verb plus object, subject plus will, what does it mean? Not easy to comprehend. Would is used to express a personal opinion. What I understand from your doubt, you're trying to find out what is a reason to use a helping verb would. I would do something. I would. Here, would, one is a past form of will, but another meaning would has many functions. I usually give 4 to 5 functions. One of the meanings, it is used to express a personal opinion. That's what the function, look at the function, not the grammar aspect. No one has responded. The rugged, chill coast of northern Norway, beyond the Arctic Circle, is not usually thought of as prime agricultural land. No one has responded. As a prime agricultural land, no, nothing wrong there. Not usually thought of as what? Prime agricultural land. Chilled coast, no, not correct. But somewhere in the exam, fortunately, they don't ask you to write the correct form. Your job is only to spot which part has the error. That way, who is this chilled? Who has written? Varaprasad has got it right. Anusha has got it right. But that is not the right word. Here, the rugged, how do you pronounce it? Rugged means very rough. Rugged, chilly, not chill. Here we have to use adjective form. Chilly. Chilly has many meanings. We all know green chili, red chili. But here, chill, very cold, chilly coast. Generally, we say everyday English, chilly weather. I don't know how many of you have heard of this. Chilly weather means very cold, cold weather. Here, the right word is not chill, chilly coast, chilly weather. The error is in the first part. Some students have got it right, but they cannot write the correct word. You don't have to worry in the real sense. The reason being, in the exam, you don't have to write the correct word. Your job is only to spot which part has the error. There ends the matter. But you have to learn. The pupils they produced were equally idiosyncratic mix of the sophisticated and the childlike, mingling precocious brilliance with speech that never quite left the classroom. A lengthy sentence you got to read very carefully, not easy to understand. I will give you a few, perhaps immediately you cannot answer. Nothing wrong with pupils. One student has responded. As I said, not easy. Read very carefully, and this is a lengthy sentence. The pupils they produced were, if you can spot the error, highly appreciable. I will give the clue. Who is this Ramanjaneyulu? Second part. Anish also says second part. Ram Sai, second part. What is wrong with the second part? There is an error in the second part, but what is wrong with that? Here were equally idiosyncratic mix. The key word for you, mix. It is a noun. When you use an adjective before a noun, you have to use the article. Based on that, he is an intelligent boy. Boy noun, intelligent adjective. We don't say he is intelligent boy. He is an intelligent boy. Based on that here, equally were an equally idiosyncratic mix. An equally idiosyncratic mix. We have to use the indefinite article an before equally. What sort of a mix? An equally idiosyncratic mix. Adverb, adjective, noun. But we have to use an article. What is the right article, correct article over here? An. As I said, no one has got it right. Not possible. Nothing to worry. In the roughly 250 years since the Industrial Revolution, the world's population, like its wealth, exploded. This, to some extent, easy, but you have to read carefully. In the roughly 250 years since the Industrial Revolution, the world's population, like its wealth, exploded. No one has responded. Should not take this long. No, in the roughly, nothing wrong. 250 years since the Industrial Revolution. It is easy in a way. No, nothing wrong with the first part. You all have the same wavelength. Many students have said first part. No, nothing wrong with the first part. I have told many a time, whenever you come across a preposition, there are two prepositions. One, for, the other, since. For time period, since specific time. It could be a word, it could be a phrase, it could be a clause. Immediately you have to think of two tenses. What are the two tenses? One is a present perfect tense, the other one present perfect continuous tense. Here we cannot use present perfect continuous. Based on that, in the roughly 250 years since the Industrial Revolution, since the Industrial Revolution means what? From that time to the present. Since the Industrial Revolution to the present, from the past to the present. That means you have to use, it is a situation which refers to from the past to the present. You have to use present perfect tense. The first use of present perfect, the last use of present perfect, with two prepositions, since, for. Since Industrial Revolution, the world's population, like its wealth, has exploded. Tirupati Rao, now I see some students, Ajay, has been, not has been, has exploded. Tirupati Rao has got it right. There is an error here. Here, based on the preposition since, you have to think immediately 1 second. The moment you see the word since, you have to think of only two tenses. One is present perfect, the other present perfect continuous. Here we cannot use present perfect continuous. Since industrial revolution, from that time to the present, this is the context from past to the present. The last use of present perfect tense has exploded. That's what you have to say. This is also a lengthy sentence that includes not only America and much of the rich world, but also China and India, neither of which are rich, but which together account for more than a third of the global population. Population has exploded since that time. Simple, the same idea we can express in a simple way. The population has exploded since industrial revolution. The population has exploded since industrial revolution, but they have presented the same idea in a different way. Very good. First one to answer this, Anusha, as usual, and she has got it right. The moment you see the word neither, you have to become alert. All of you, when I bring these questions in a way, live session, you get a chance. It is like you are taking the actual exam. You don't get a lot of time, a few seconds, and one word is enough to get the answer in a few seconds. When you read, look for the clues. The moment you come across neither nor not that important from the exam point of view to some extent. But if you take the word, there are three words. One is each, the either, the second one is either, the third one neither. Here, either, neither, they are not conjunctions, they are distributive pronouns. What are these? Distributive pronouns. They are three in number, each, either, neither. There's an important rule that goes with distributive pronouns. What is that rule? Distributive pronouns always take a singular verb. Based on that, neither of which is a phrase. Then you can easily spot the error. Neither is, not are. I appreciate those students who have got it right. Not easy. You have to read, but the moment you see the word neither, two things have to pop up. One, neither nor. You don't see here. That is a conjunction. Only the word neither. Then it is a distributive pronoun. There is an important rule. Takes a singular verb. Here the verb is in the plural form. There ends the matter. You don't have to worry about all other things. Yes, good Ajay. I appreciate that. Seaweed, the umbrella term, means a collective term for thousands of species of marine algae, is seen by some as a magic ingredient in the fight against climate change. Not a noun, it is a distributive pronoun. It is a pronoun. Which type of pronoun? Distributive. Magic ingredient, nothing wrong with that. You can say magical, magic ingredient. Magic can be a noun, can be an adjective. Nothing wrong with that. No, no, nothing wrong. It's a standard expression, magic ingredient. It's a phrase, a standard expression. Nothing wrong. No one has got it right. Answer is no error. I'm sorry. Answer is no error. Seaweed, the umbrella term for thousands of species of marine algae. Nothing wrong. Is seen. We see something, active voice. Something is seen, present tense, passive voice. Nothing wrong. Is seen by some as a magic ingredient in the fight against climate change. No error is the answer. Good. I appreciate all those who have written no error. You have five phrasal verbs, important ones. Take aback. Usually we use this in passive voice. We say, I was taken aback. I was taken aback. So what does it mean? Take aback. First one. Known as 1D. To be surprised a lot. Perfect. I was taken aback. Remember, we use it in passive voice, usually past tense. Take after someone. She takes after her mother. He takes after her, his father. Take after means what? No, one is D, not E. 2A, resemble someone. Perfect. He takes after his mother. He resembles his mother. Take off. Take off that from there means what? To remove something. Here you have to use E. Talk back. This goes with everyday English and schools also. People, teachers use this. Don't talk back. At home also, parents may say, don't talk back. Means what? Reply rudely. Reply rudely. Thrash out. Beat someone severely. He has been thrashed. See. If you have got all the five correct, be happy. Let us go to idioms. These idioms are very important. Dark horse. All the five correct? Please respond. I will appreciate. Highly appreciable. Dark horse means what? No one has said all the five correct. Anyhow, idioms, dark horse. No one has answered that also. 1B. Candidate with doubtful chances of success. At the time of elections, you don't expect a particular candidate to win. That candidate is known as dark horse. Very good. Who is this? 5 out of 5. Anusha, Ajay, wonderful. Good. Here, B is the answer. At daggers drawn, we have got recently. At Govardhan also, all the five correct. Very good, Govardhan. I appreciate that. At daggers drawn, openly hostile, always at loggerheads. You have to recollect another idiomatic expression. At loggerheads, openly hostile. Answer is D. Elbow room. This goes with policies also. Space in which one can move freely. Don't take literally, it can go with policies, it can go with projects. El Dorado, an important one. An imaginary land of plenty and prosperity. Answer is C. I use this quite often. Fag end of the session means what? Last part of something. If you have got all the five correct, very good. Highly appreciable. Let us go to words you got on Saturday, and you have to write the part of speech, you have to write the meaning. It is not easy getting all the five correct. If you get all the five correct, outstanding. You should be extremely happy. Looks like a power cut, but we don't have to worry. 3 is also good, Ajay. You should be happy. But 5, outstanding. Please go to harness. Verb to collect and control, extract, gather, and control. Harness natural resources. Harness the unique quality of a person. Harness the potential of the student. Good. Embellish, part of speech, verb. Harness is a regular verb, so is embellish. It goes with the Anusha, all the five correct, that is good. Embellish goes with the world of aesthetics. Decorate, to make something look more beautiful. Space constraint, I could not bring all the words. Here you have to understand, to make something more beautiful. Then we say embellish. Or can be a noun or can be a verb. It can be a noun. Do remember. What does it mean? A feeling of great respect. It has a positive connotation, and there's one expression you have to recollect: awestruck. Answer is J. I'm sure you all know the expression awestruck. I was awestruck, they were awestruck. Someone has gone to the sixth one. Banal, an important word, part of speech adjective. Boring, ordinary, and not challenging. Mitigate, an important word. You have to recollect words, synonyms: alleviate, assuage, part of speech verb. What does it mean? Make something less harmful. Extinction, part of speech noun. Extinct species adjective. Extinction noun. What does it mean? Situation in which a particular animal no longer, or a particular plant no longer exists. In a way, it means to vanish from the planet Earth or from a particular situation. Wield, part of speech verb. Use power or authority. One meaning. To hold a stick and show power, another meaning. Enumerate, part of speech verb. Name things separately. Inscrutability, an important word, part of speech noun. What are you left with? Quality of not showing feelings or emotions, because of that difficult to understand what exactly the person or something has. Answer is B. Slam can be a noun, can be a verb. It has many meanings. One meaning: to move against a hard surface, slam the door. Another meaning: criticize. So, again, if you have got all the 10 correct, you should be happy. That's all for today from today's editorial. Hope you guys have got enriched. Do remember to subscribe and share. And there's a session in the evening, 7:30. Join that session. Thank you very much. All the 10 correct, anyone? That is highly appreciable.